Yeah, so basically in trading, incurring a loss is usually not the problem. The problem is often what that loss represents. So take for example, this December you have decided as a responsible man that you dirty December for your wife, for your kids. So one thing I need you to understand is that you have a goal already. That with the profits I make from trading, I'm going to make life beautiful for my family and my kids. So what you need to know is that every single loss you incur in the market, it's not just about the loss anymore. It's about the fact that every loss is representing the fact that your ability to hit your goal of making Christmas memorable for your wife and kids is appearing far-fetched. This is just a very good example I can use to relate to as many reasons why the pain of loss often gets to trader much more than the amount that was lost. So as a trader, one of the things I need us to pay attention to when you look at it very well is the fact that look at it again and again and again. Every time you incur a loss on the charts, you get to realize that the loss itself, the amount you lost, is not as painful as what that loss signifies on your inside. So for someone, it could be that your babe that left you, left you with very terrible words that are painful, such that every loss you incur triggers that word that was said to you. So perhaps she left and she was like, when she was leaving, she was like, oh, I don't think you can make it in this trading. No, I really just don't think so. I don't think this trading thing can put food on the table or whatever ugly thing it is that was said to you. And here you are in an industry trying to make something out of it. You need to know that every loss you incur on the charts is not just about the amount that you have lost. A pain is being triggered psychologically. And it is some of that pain that continually affects the way you now even end up interacting with the market over time. So it's a chain, it's a loop. Every time you incur a loss and you realize that that loss comes with a form of pain, as a trader, one of the things you want to pay attention to is to look inwards and genuinely ask yourself, where is this pain coming from? What exactly have you proposed? So I could remember one time that was around, I think 2 years ago. I wanted to go and see my parents. So I had a prop firm account that was already in phase two. And all my goal and plan was that, oh, okay, I think I want to trade this thing to profit. And the first profit I'm able to get from this thing, I would use it to book a flight, and then go see my parents on and on and stuff like that. So ideally, first thing first, where I even made the first mistake was the fact that I'm not meant to place I'm not meant to place pressure, demand, any form of request on a profit I've not made. No, it is wrong. You are not meant to do so as a trader. Which now leads us to the fact that trading, once again, as a skill, is a skill to multiply the money you have already, not primarily to make money exclusively. So back to the example I was trying to bring. So the goal was the fact that I want to go and see my parents. So as soon as I'm able to get a payout from this prop account, book a flight, go see them, get stuff for them, on and on and blah blah blah. So you need to see that I had a goal in mind already. Every loss that was being incurred means that that goal is disappearing. Because come to think about it, you initiated a trade. Your desires are this thing will go to TP. But if it does not go to TP and goes to a stop loss instead, even if the stop loss is $2,000, what that means is that you are $2,000 away from your goal. What is the goal? Getting a payout, going to visit the parents, getting them stuff, on and blah blah blah. So long story short, what I just want us to pick out of this as traders is the reality of the fact that trading is more psychological than it is technical. And this is just one of the psychological facts that we can come to accept. That loss in itself, the amount, is not usually what is so much painful. What is much more painful is what that loss signifies. So you have a $20,000 account, a proper account, let's even say, for example, it's already at the funded phase. and you are like, okay, once I get a payout, I should maybe refurbish my room, get some gadgets, blah blah blah, on and on. Let's assume you are risking 0.5% per trade. That's, I think, $1,000 per trade. Every stop loss you hit is not just about minus $1,000. It is about that minus $1,000 means that you are $1,000 short of hitting that goal. So it will be painful because you've had hope on it. So what's the way to deal with it? There are two ways. Either to discipline yourself to a point whereby you detach yourself from the outcome of your trade so that you can even think and analyze the markets clearly. That's number one. Or two, actually, just increase your primary source of income. So that way, you won't be attached to the money you make from trading or the money you do not make. There's something my mentor once said. I've had my own experience. There are a couple of persons who have had that experience, which is what trading began to make sense. I've once had this thing also from Saijimi in an interview, that trading began to make sense the moment he did not need. Take note of that choice of word. Need is different from want. The moment he did not need the money coming from trading. We all want the money, but you need to get to that point where you don't need it. And what does that mean? It's as simple as needs. What are your needs? Basic needs. What to eat, what to wear, how to transport yourself to wherever you need to get to. So the moment you can build a primary source of income that comfortably takes care of that, I'm almost sure that you've also gotten to that point where you no longer need the money. Because when you want to buy a Bugatti from the profit that comes from trading now, you don't necessarily need a Bugatti. You want it. So at that point, you easily make that kind of money. But in a situation whereby tomorrow morning now, maybe you have what to eat, but as of next week, next 2 weeks, you really don't know how you survive. And it's a problem because not everyone knows how to focus in the immediate. It will affect the way you look at the markets. So until I come your way again, this is just a nugget. And what's the nugget? The amount you lose is not really what's painful. It's often what that loss signifies. So every loss signifies that a particular goal or target you have seems far-fetched. This is Christmas. You've decided, with a $2,000 payout, that's close to like maybe 3 million naira or thereabouts, I get stuff for my kids, get stuff for my wife. You already have the plan already. But now you've executed the first trade, it's a stop loss. You've executed the second trade, it's also a stop loss. It's not just about the amount anymore. You love your family. You want to make your wife happy. You want to make your children happy. So every stop loss would translate that the probability of making them happy is slipping away. And as a responsible man, you will feel pain. You will feel disappointed. So you see that loss is no longer about the figure, but what it represents. So just to ensure that is taken care of, detach yourself from the outcome of trading. And how do you do that? There are several instances and there are several ways you can do that we cannot necessarily digest now. Because the honest truth is that if we ask, do you know you are meant to detach from the outcome of trading or not? The fact is that you know. So the question is how? But a very simple way is to be realistic. That's okay. I have a profitable plan, and over time, I'm consistently profitable. So irrespective of what one outcome says, I will follow through. And this is where trading journal is also important. This is one of the things I do. There are times I have losing streaks too. And what I use to revive my confidence is that I go back to my trading journal and I begin to check through everything. Now me do this one now. 6 consecutive wins. Now me do one. 6 consecutive losses. Now me still recover. So that is one of the ways. Because one of the things those kind of fatal loss does to us is that it quickly erases every hope you can have in the future. Yes, you can relate to what I'm saying as a trader, that there are consistent streak of stop losses you would have, and every hope of you becoming confident in your strategy is completely wiped out. So the way we recover from that is that we go back to our trading journal. There was one particular time, I think I lost more than almost 50% of my portfolio. Yes. Of course, I first had to take like 2 days break of the charts, and then I came back and I bounced back up. So that moment is a very significant moment in my trading journey. So such that I go back to it and I remind myself that I was the one who did this. with this same strategy. So irrespective of the loss, all I have to do is go back to the chart again, ensure that I am calm. So I have so many strategies of remaining calm, and I'll just share one now. One of them is that until I'm done with my trading session, I don't pick calls. No, I don't. Irrespective of who the person is, I would rather call you back after the trading session. Why? Because I don't know what you want to tell me during the call. I don't know the effect it would have on my emotion. Facts. Irrespective of whether it's my friend, whether it's my parents, whether it's someone I respect so much, this is work. So that is why, of course, over time, I've had a couple of persons complain to the fact that I don't pick calls, I don't respond to messages. Check it very well. There are certain times you've been calling me. That is why I've not been picking. So maybe this is an OT. You want to reach me, just call me from 5 p.m. below. But anything from 8 a.m. when London session starts up until like 5 p.m. when New York session is rounding up, I don't pick people's call because I don't know what you want to say. And as a responsible man, it can get to me. If one of my friends should call me now and tell me, I get to hear different things. Oh, my lecturer just maybe tried abusing me, this and that, on and on. As a good person, something in me may want to spark, like, is that person okay? Like, give me the person's number. Yes, but that is me reacting with emotions already. And whether you like it or not, it will reflect in my trading. So that's one of the ways I stay calm. That's one of the ways I detach my emotions from everything that has to do with trading entirely. So that's just one tip. You also could check if you feel you have the capacity to pick calls and still trade. Great. But for me, over time, that is what I've observed. That is why a trading journal is important. So till I come your way again, guys, stay test up.